What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chamaka Okebu. If you're joining us for the first time, you're very much welcome. So today we're going to be talking about what Indians think about Africans. So I've been here for a year and 6 months or thereabout, and there are a lot of funny things that I have encountered. And I know a lot of Africans have encountered this in India, not just me, even my roommate and the other ladies in the hostel and the other guys and some other persons everywhere. If you would like to hear more, please stick with me and I'll see you shortly. Okay guys, so first on my list is the fact that Indians think Africa is a country. Basically, when you tell them, where are you from? I'm from Nigeria. I'm like, Nigeria, where? Nigeria. So I just basically tell them, okay, I'm from Africa. And they're like, oh, Africa. And some of them, so there are different categories of people. There are some people who you tell you're from Nigeria and everybody knows Nigeria. So they're like, oh, Nigeria. And some of them actually know Lagos, they know Abuja, like that. While sometimes some of them have no idea where Africa is. I'm like, but did you not do continents of the world, especially in class? Because I can remember my first day, like they had no idea. Some of them, not all, they had no idea what I was talking about. I don't know whether to laugh, whether it was a funny thing or it was something to be offended by. Because I had no idea. While some of them actually know only South Africa, and that's basically because South Africa plays cricket. I don't know if there's any other African country that plays cricket. And cricket is a major game in India, so that's why they're very, very well used to South Africa. So it all depends on the Indian you meet though. If you meet those who are quite exposed, they're very well aware that, oh, okay, Nigeria is this country, oh, this is this country. Because I've had sometimes I tell some people I'm from Nigeria. Nigeria, where? Africa. I'm like, oh. So they just call the country they know. I'm like, do you know that? I practically had somebody trying to force me that I know that where I am from is Seychelles or Seychelles. I don't know how it's pronounced. And I'm like, no, I'm from Nigeria. I'm like, oh, Seychelles. I'm like, no. Or they go Angola. I'm like, no, it's not the same. It's different. So that's one. So they just think Africa on its own is a general, it's a country of its own. All of us are from the same place. And I try to explain to them that, oh no, the way you have India, you have Singapore, you have China, you have all these countries in one as Asian countries. That's the same way you have different countries as Africa. Like, it's really funny because I know when we were in junior school, I think that was one of the first things you would even learn in primary school. They start teaching you continents of the world, tell you which country is where and all that. But that's that. The second one is they think we do not understand English or we cannot speak English. That's usually the first encounter I had. Like the very first day I was in class and a friend of mine was trying to introduce me to somebody in class, and then she goes, can she speak English? Like I was there. In my mind, I was like, who me means no for English. And then, like, it's really funny, when they realize that you can speak English, they kind of stop speaking to you because their English is not as good as yours. I don't know if they feel intimidated, but they kind of stop speaking to you. They'll rather discuss amongst themselves than talk with you. And later on, if they are close to you, they'll let you know that it's because your English is so neat. They don't understand you when you speak like that, and they feel bad. They don't want to speak to you. And sometimes I try to tell some of them that I just want to communicate. I don't think I'm so much interested in how well your English is. Like, can we just talk? Like, I can't just sit in the class and be talking to one person. It's okay even if your English is not good. It's not like it's fine if your English is not the best. I'm cool with it. You just have to be comfortable speaking to me. That's all. Like, you really realize that you just want to talk. You don't really care if is, we, where, are. You just want to speak English and communicate. Obviously, you can communicate in their local language, but of course, you can They can communicate in English to an extent. You can speak English. That's just your best bet. Another one I would say is they think Africans are rude. So this is a thing of cultural difference. I'm in South India, and South Indians are reserved. Compared to where I'm from in Nigeria, where reservation isn't a thing. Reservation is a thing for an individual. You decide to be reserved, and you can't be reserved on every issue. Like, you can't practically see somebody trampling on you, or you can't practically see something going wrong and then you keep quiet. We are much more open. We tend to argue, challenge status quo and all that. Like, it's not a thing here. It is not a thing. I can remember one day we were standing in front of a lecturer's office waiting for turns to go in and sign something, and then somebody just came and then she was like, senior. First of all, in Nigeria we don't do senior. I don't think any African country would do that, like senior, because you're one class ahead of me, you're my senior. I think that thing ends in secondary school. That's grade 12 and all that. That's where it ends. Nobody does that in university. Like, wait for your turn. So they kind of think we're rude because certain things happen, and then we're like, why? But I am not supposed to. Could you please explain? Can I know why? Like, we tend to ask more questions. They're just more or less like, okay, the book says this, and then this is what we are supposed to do. So they tend to think we're rude, like, really. And this is in a school setting, because outside, most of them tend to think you're a cheat. Yes, they tend to think you're a cheat. But personally, I don't think I have ever encountered that, because I tend to buy my stuff online or go to the mall. So I don't think I've ever encountered that at the mall, or, of course, I can't encounter that online. So sometimes that makes them to think we are kind of show off, like we tend to show off. But then that's not it. It's just a thing of cultural difference. The way we carry ourselves is different from the way they carry themselves. They are more of, they are conservative both in their dressing, in the way they speak, their makeup, everything. We are more of, you're free to do whatever. If you want to be conservative, fine. If you want to, whatever, it's okay. And we tend to dress more Western. Yeah, so which could make you kind of look like a totally different person, because they put on their kutas and kutis. In Nigeria, the kuta could be like when you wear the kaftan, something towards that, not exactly, but something towards that. And you know the way it covers everywhere and all that. But we tend to wear shirts and all that. So it kind of look like you show off, you're rude. But then it's a cultural difference thing. You're just being you. You're just being more open and more outspoken. Yeah. So another thing they think is, God, they think we are poor. Sometimes I know there's poverty in Africa. Do not get me wrong. Sometimes I go to church, and maybe they're trying to make reference to a poverty-stricken country, very, very poor, and then they're like those in Africa. Like, the funniest part is they think we are poor, and we think they are like poor. Like, I see some things, I'm like, nah, no, don't do. So that's just it. They think we are poor, we think they are poor. Like, they think we are very, very poor. I know there is poverty everywhere. There's poverty in Africa, don't get me wrong, like real poverty. But believe me, when you hear the way they describe it, some persons, it will look like when you come to Africa, there is nothing. You shouldn't be seeing houses. You should be seeing huts. You shouldn't be seeing good water. You should be seeing people drinking muddy water. There shouldn't be good health facilities, like nothing at all. Like, well, that's that. So guys, we are not as poor as not having anything. They are just the same way. There are different types of classes of people. There are those who are poor, those who are average, and those who are actually rich. Yeah, I'm not disputing the fact that there's poverty in Africa, but that's just it. And the next one is they think we are not knowledgeable. I don't know. They think we're not as knowledgeable as we are. I think students in their first years tend to face that problem. They think we are not knowledgeable. I don't know how to explain this because it might seem a bit controversial and it's something you could actually dispute. I had good grades in my first year, but then I wouldn't say it was easy. They just think you're not as knowledgeable as you are, or they should know more than you. And I think that comes from the fact that they think we're very poor. So our system of education is not good enough. You are not as good as they are because their system of education is better. In this video, I'm not going to be comparing system of education. However, guys, we are knowledgeable people. Our system of education is good. It is good, believe me. If you can pass in Nigeria, I think you can pass anywhere else. I'm talking about Nigeria because that is where I'm from. But then if you can pass in Nigeria, you can pass anywhere else. But just like every other person, every other student, we all have our struggles through school and everything. So guys, welcome to the end of my video. I hope with this you've been able to know what some things Indians think about Africans. But also, it is also worthy to note that I stay in South India. I have not been to Northern India, so I really can't say. And I've really met some nice persons during the course. Some people actually approach me directly and they start speaking English with me. Not everybody thinks that Africans cannot speak English, and not everybody thinks that Africans are rude. Some of my observations are when I first came earlier on, and some of them are based on the students I met, classroom settings, while some of them are at the malls. This is just like a general thing you will get to face when you come to India, your very first 1 to 2 months. But after a while, it gets better when you explain to them, when they get more comfortable around you. Some of these things, maybe you're rude or you can't speak English or they don't want to talk to you because your English is better. Some of these things tend to relax here. Alright guys, welcome to the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.